Welcome to Knockhill Racing Circuit. In today's programme we are going to be looking at the Scottish sports and saloons, and a little bit later on we're going to look at the classic sports and saloons as well. But first up, as ever, are the powerful sports and saloons cars. As I feel a little bit of rain there, and you'll notice these guys running on the slick tyres. Hopefully this rain holds off for them. Now these guys had a race yesterday which we've missed, but it was won by Finlay CROCKER. Finlay winning for the first time in this new car. Finlay, just briefly, welcome back to Knockhill. You've been missing of late, but you're here in the new machinery. Tell us a bit about it, and obviously cover yesterday's result as well.
Yeah, it's a Honda Civic TCR car, so designed for the new TCR regs that allows you to take it to lots of great places to race, which is what we've been doing and why we missed the last couple of rounds. So out yesterday, started second and managed to win the race. As I said, by some miracle we were first going into the first corner, and had to work fairly hard for it from there. But the car's really good. Set our fastest lap time so far yesterday, but quite a bit colder today, so we'll see how we go.
A few spots of rain on the windscreen there, and I see your great big slick tyres. That's not going to put a man of your experience off, is it?
Probably. Nah, we'll be fine. I mean, it's in theory, if it rains and we're all on slicks, then I'm at less of a disadvantage than the rear-wheel drive guys. With we'll have to win it by brain power, not horsepower, mate.
Good luck. I'll leave him to it. I'm going to move a little bit further down. This is a face you'll recognise. We spoke to him in the BMW programme, if you watched that as well. The production class fibre Ginetta G55 of current BMW champion Stephen Daly. Stephen, rear-wheel drive, and that's about where the familiarity stops with the BMW. You've got a lot more power now. You've got a good chance to win this race.
I know, I mean, Finlay has got a quick car. He is a good driver as well, but we seemed to have quite a bit of pace on him yesterday, although he won. We'll just have to see how this goes. If I can get off the line and get around the first corner, then we might have a good chance of getting it, but again, we just have to wait and see how it unfolds.
I'll let you get in because you're about to go. Good luck.
Thank you very much, cheers.
And with that, I'll hand it to Richard. Sports and Saloons, race number 1.
Thanks, Joe. Finlay CROCKER on pole, Steve Daly alongside them, Paul BRYDON and Gary Waite. Thompson McIntyre 5th from Scott Tollan, and then Robert Drummond, Alistair McMillan, John Kennedy and William Robson completing the grid. Plenty to update you on from the Saloon and Sports Car Championship here in Scotland. One thing which happened is the away meeting for them on 28th of August at Croft in North Yorkshire, but we'll come on to that in a minute because we've got some points issues to talk about in an update. But look at this machinery we've got on the front row of the grid. The Honda Civic TCR of Finlay CROCKER. Stephen Daly in the Ginetta is alongside. Green flag from the back of the field, and we're getting ready for the anti-penultimate race of the season. 3 lights on, 4, 5, and we're underway. I think well anticipated by Finlay CROCKER. The Ultima gets away very well indeed from the back row of the grid, but it's CROCKER from Daly. Paul BRYDON coming up into 3rd place. So good move there from Paul BRYDON, who is going to chase down into Scotsman Corner. Daly on the outside line. Here's the view from Daly, who's trying to get around that outside line, but Finlay CROCKER hung in there for the lead, and it's the one cool car that's out front. Look how crossed up Daly's getting. He clipped the curbs there at the chicane. Collects it all back up. I know he's relishing this experience to race in the Ginetta, who's been a reigning BMW champion, of course, has been racing in the National Championship this year, and he's being monstered by Paul BRYDON, who's going wide here, might dip back down to the inside. Here comes Paul BRYDON, hard on the brakes, but the Ginetta holds on to 2nd place. So it's Honda, Ginetta, BMW. Up through the grid lines they go. Paul BRYDON, incidentally, now confirmed by my maths as the Class A2 champion. He was 99 points clear coming into this weekend, and there are 100 points maximum on offer over this meeting and the October meeting. And nobody, Finlay CROCKER took some points off of him, but not enough to keep his overall championship hopes alive. So we pick up on Robert Drummond, and then 69 Thompson McIntyre, one of 2 drivers that's reasonably close to Paul BRYDON in terms of the championship, and could well challenge for the overall honours, and effectively looking at 3 classes this weekend. We've got Class A1, which has Scott Tollan and Robert Drummond. Scott Tollan, there's Robert Drummond. Scott Tollan, by my maths, has already sewn up the championship after the away day at Croft. Is that a problem for Robert Drummond? Goes on the grass, and then thinks again, rejoins the track. Gary Waite's heading up the circuit as well. So after Croft, let's tell you what happened at Croft. It was Class A2, winning race 1 for Colin Simpson, race 2 for Paul Brydon, 2 wins in A1 for Scott Tollan, and the B1 class win shared by Thompson McIntyre and William Robson, who continue to fight it out for the B1 class title. But by my reckoning, Scott Tollan, the A1 champion for this year. Paul Brydon is the Class A2 champion. In terms of the overall championship, that's going to go to the wire. Paul Brydon on 270 points coming into this. William Robson on 245 was 24 points down, and then Thompson McIntyre behind him. As we look at the Ultima, getting stuck in with William Robson, goes past Robson, the Ultima of Alistair McMillan, who did 3 laps yesterday, very clearly running well now, and it's Finlay CROCKER still out front. Crocker down on 151 points coming into this meeting, so out of a shot with the championship. And Graham Robertson and Brian Meldrum, the last 2 drivers that were in with a shout, and this is getting very frenetic up front, and let's see whether the one cool car is going to be past. Finlay CROCKER still out front, but here comes Stephen Daly getting it all wound up to go on the inside line here at Clark Corner, and the Giannetta's going through on the inside, and Daly rings the neck of the car and goes through into the lead. Stephen Daly leads on his debut meeting in the Scottish Saloon and Sports Car Championship. Finlay CROCKER's going to fight back. Paul Brydon in the mix as well. Brydon behind, he's the championship, the outright championship leader, and will have to keep picking up decent results in Class A2 to fend off the B1 class runners as we head into the October meeting. It could well come down to how many cars there are in class in October. Crocker's fighting back, can't quite go through. These cars very evenly matched around the circuit, and we've got Finlay CROCKER, who of course raced in the British Touring Car Championship Support Series in the Clio Cup with Core Cut sponsorship, and he bought One Call into it as well, and you can see the One Call livery on the back, and he's down in second. This is the view from Paul Brydon. So 3 A2 class cars, although again, just to reiterate that championship wise, Stephen Daly is a guest driver, but they're not really too worried about points at the moment. The only guy who's interested in points here probably is Paul Brydon, who wants to get ahead of Finlay CROCKER so that he can pick up some more points and maybe pull away from William Robson and Thompson McIntyre, who are both Class B1 runners. But up the hill they go once again. Stephen Daly holds sway here, up and over the hill. Well, back in 4th position. We're just going to dip back down, and on the inside line, Gary Waite on the inside, Thompson McIntyre immediately behind him, and we saw Robert Drummond trying to join in as well. The Ultima is going past as well, that's Alistair McMillan. So Gary Waite being chased by Thompson McIntyre in the Subaru Impreza. McIntyre was the lone B1 class starter in race number 1. Had there been another 2 starters, John Kennedy and William Robson, he would have picked up 25 points. He would have edged closer to the championship leader Paul Brydon, but that wasn't the case. He was the only starter and therefore only picked up 18 points. He finished in 5th place, and that's made a little dent on his championship standing. So Brydon, the championship leader, with 290, 45 points down is William Robson, who didn't start that race, and then 51 points down is Thompson McIntyre, who's there in the 69 car. Gary Waite runs in Class A2, he's going up the hill. So it's an A2 class car battling with a B1 machine, and the leading B1 machine is Thompson McIntyre, who has got William Robson in competition in this one. William's a fair way behind him, but should, I reckon, maintain 2nd place in the championship. And it's going to, I think, the way it's going at the moment, the Class B1 Championship standings will have a point separating them going into the last meeting of the year, and there'll be 45 adrift of Paul Brydon, who in theory should be able to sew up the championship. If neither of those guys non-finish in this event, should be able to sew it up in race number 1 in October. That's the overall championship. So it is complicated, we've got different classes to consider, but the overall championship looks like it's between Paul Brydon, William Robson, Thompson McIntyre, Scott Tollan in with a shout as well, very outside shout of things at the moment. But we continue to look at the Class B1 car of Thompson McIntyre chasing the A class car, the A2 class car of Gary Waite. in 59. And off a spin there for Alistair McMillan in the Ultimate GTR. Wonderful piece of kit, that car. Grand looking machine. And Super Ali, as he refers to himself on the front of the car, facing the wrong way. That's not a great place to be. Luckily, heavily waved yellows at that point. And I think most of the drivers are sighted to see Alistair facing the wrong way. Thankfully gets it all fired up and rejoins with Robert Drummond going past him. So Robert Drummond heads up the hill and ahead of the Ultima and will continue to give chase. Here though is the race leader, Stephen Daly, out front. What a move. I always think the intakes on the outside of the car look like fangs on the G57, and Stephen Daly well clear at the moment of Finlay CROCKER. He's heading for another fastest lap of the race as well. There'll be some story if Daly can win on his debut in the Ginetta in this multi-class, multi-mark championship. There is Finlay CROCKER still in second position and chasing down. It's Paul BRYDON running in third. Robert Drummond's having a little bit of a flyer as well and could well be closing in on Paul BRYDON, who is running at the moment in third place. Stephen Daly though lapping away to his heart's content. Fastest lap of the race so far, 53.2 seconds. Is he going to be able to hold on and take a first win in the Ginetta? Join us after the break to see. Welcome back to Knockhill. We pick up on Paul BRYDON, championship leader, running third position in this one, second position in the points. But as you can see, being closed down now by Robert Drummond, who is the leading Class A1 car. That's the four-wheel drive class. Scott Tollan is running second in A1. He's already confirmed as A1 champion for this year, and he'll pick up 14 points for his trouble. I think that basically means it's not going to be enough points for Scott to challenge for the overall championship into October. There is Scott briefly there in the 28 car. Look at the scrap for third place closing up. Robert Drummond is making good headway here. He didn't finish yesterday's race, so started off the back of the grid and putting Paul BRYDON under significant pressure. Meanwhile, Stephen Daly in the Ginetta continues to pull clear, goes through on the inside line of John Kennedy's Subaru. Daly's fastest lap here, a 53.2, yesterday 53.5. So the Daly Ginetta combination clearly working well, and I feel if he had the opportunity to do more in this car, we would see him get quicker and quicker. We know he's a quick driver from his racing in the national and indeed the Scottish BMW Championships. So Stephen Daly goes down past Gary Waite into the hairpin. Very neat and tidy. The production glass fibre backed machine is going to head up to the checkered flag. Daly takes the checker. Stephen Daly takes it. Second position is going to go to Finlay CROCKER. Here is Finlay. Third position has gone to Robert Drummond. Fourth position, but second in class for Paul BRYDON, means that he retains the championship lead by 45 points from William Robson, who is still on track as well. Thompson McIntyre is going to leave this meeting third in the points, so it's going to be a 45-point gap from BRYDON to Robson, and 1 point between Robson and McIntyre. Across the line there went Alistair McMillan, who finishes ninth in the Ultima, and here's the overall result. A win for Stephen Daly from Finlay CROCKER and Robert Drummond. Paul BRYDON in fourth from Thompson McIntyre. Gary Waite next up from William Robson, Scott Tollan, Alistair McMillan and John Kennedy.
Stephen, well done. Second race and a race win. I was talking to you just beforehand and you seemed quite confident with it, and it was a great race.
I mean, I knew the car could do it. It was kind of all on myself. I seen the pace yesterday we had, and I thought I maybe could have had that. I messed up the start yesterday, which like five cars go past, and it was just a nightmare to get back past them with the speed of some of these cars. The Ginetta is awesome on the brakes. Cornering speeds are absolutely amazing as well. Leaps and bounds on some of these cars, which kind of makes up for the speed difference. So I knew the car could do it. I just needed to go out and actually do it, you know. So we're chuffed. I'm absolutely chuffed. I'd just like to say a big thank you to CW Motorsport. Phil from Production Glass Fibre have been absolutely fantastic, giving me this opportunity. This is always what I've wanted to do, and he's provided me that, so job done.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Finlay, well done. A win yesterday, which we missed for the TV cameras, but a good second place today, a good fighting second place.
Yeah, it was. I thought at the start, if I could get away, I needed to push on. Yesterday we had new tyres, we didn't today, and struggled a little bit, and then the car developed a misfire, which is a bit worrying because it's never not so much as a squeak out of it all season so far, so we'll see where we go with that. But yeah, good race, it was alright.
You've not done a lot of miles in this car, you've done bits and bobs, you had issues, it was late coming and you had issues with the seat and bits and pieces, but now it seems to run pretty much without a fault.
Yeah, we've had some good results actually in the car. We've been abroad with it and had a couple of podiums, few fastest laps, so the car's going well. Yeah, really good.
We're going to see you back here at Knockhill for the rest of the year. We've got one more round in October.
Yeah, that's the plan. Do the last one here and then I'm off to Imola in a week's time, so should enjoy that.
Good stuff, good luck.
Okay, thanks.
Robert, back on the podium. We missed you guys yesterday. Run us through yesterday's result first of all.
Non-finish.
Non-existent, that won't take long. But today you followed it up with a good podium.
I did. To start where I started and get on the podium, we just finished the weekend off on a high note. So, great. So,
speechless. Well done.
Thank you.
And again, back on the podium again. We missed your race yesterday, so give us first of all a recap on yesterday.
Well, yesterday I was only in the class myself, so it was just really a go round about. But as usual, you start racing other cars and. Well, obviously won my class yesterday, but I had to finish in front of Will today, and that puts me in front of him in the B1 class of the championship, so I'm more than happy, because I missed the first 2 rounds, so that's me caught him up, overtook him, so I just need to do it again the next round, so it's all up to me now, it's in my hands.
Well done, great result.
Thank you.